It was the weekend of February 15th, 2003, when thieves pulled off the largest diamond heist in history, stealing over $100 million worth of diamonds, gold, and other precious gems from a vault in Antwerp, Belgium. The heist, dubbed the heist of the century, was a masterclass in sophistication and planning, leaving investigators and the public alike wondering how such a brazen crime could have been committed. At the center of this elaborate scheme was Leonardo Notarbartolo, a man who would spend years preparing for the heist, using his charisma and cunning to gain the trust of those around him. Notarbartolo's plan was to target the Antwerp Diamond Center, a building located in the heart of the city's Diamond District, an area known for its heavily guarded and monitored streets. The district, which covers about 1 square mile, is home to over 500 companies, 500 brokers, merchants, and diamond cutters, and is responsible for trading over 80% of the world's rough diamonds. The building itself was protected by multiple layers of security, including an advanced combination lock, infrared heat detectors, a seismic sensor, Doppler radar, and a magnetic field detector. But Notarbartolo was undeterred, using his knowledge of the building's security systems to devise a plan to bypass them. Over the course of 2 years, Notarbartolo conducted detailed surveillance of the Diamond Center, gathering intelligence on the guards' routines and the vault's combination. He even went so far as to install a small camera above the vault door, which transmitted footage to a storage device concealed in a fire extinguisher. But that wasn't the strangest part. Notarbartolo also allegedly visited the vault under the guise of a routine trip and sprayed hairspray on the thermal motion sensor to temporarily disable it. This level of planning and sophistication raises questions about how Notarbartolo was able to gather such intimate knowledge of the building's security systems and whether he had any inside help. As the heist unfolded, the thieves used a series of clever techniques to evade detection. They employed a custom-made aluminum plate to maintain the magnetic field when opening the vault door and used a polystyrene shield to block the infrared sensor. They even covered the ceiling light sensor with tape, allowing them to work undetected inside the vault. But what's perhaps most astonishing is the sheer scale of the heist. The thieves managed to break open 109 of the 189 safe deposit boxes, each equipped with both a unique key lock and a 3-letter combination lock. The question on everyone's mind is, how did they manage to crack so many combinations in such a short amount of time? The Antwerp Diamond District, where the heist took place, is a unique and fascinating place. The area is dominated by Jewish, Indian, Lebanese, and Armenian dealers, known as diamantaires, who have been trading diamonds for centuries. The district is home to the Antwerp World Diamond Center, as well as 4 trading exchanges, including the Diamond Club of Antwerp and the Beursvoort Diamant Handel. But despite its rich history and cultural significance, the district is not without its secrets. The fact that over 80% of the world's rough diamonds pass through the district each year raises questions about the industry's transparency and accountability. As investigators delved deeper into the case, they began to uncover a complex web of characters and motives. Notarbartolo, the mastermind behind the heist, was a charismatic and calculating individual who had spent years building a reputation in the diamond trade. But what drove him to commit such a brazen crime, and what happened to the stolen diamonds? These are questions that would haunt investigators for years to come and would ultimately lead them on a wild goose chase through the streets of Antwerp and beyond. But that's not the end of the story, in fact. It's only the beginning. As we delve deeper into the world of diamonds and deception, we'll uncover a trail of clues that will take us from the streets of Antwerp to the corridors of power, and raise questions about the very fabric of the diamond trade itself. The level of sophistication and planning that went into the Antwerp diamond heist is a testament to the cunning and determination of the thieves. At the heart of the operation was Leonardo Notarbartolo, an Italian thief who had been renting an office in the Antwerp Diamond Center building for over 2 years, providing him with access to a safe deposit box in the vault beneath the building. But what's striking is that Notarbartolo didn't just stop at renting an office. He allegedly installed a small camera above the vault door to monitor the guards and record the vault's combination, transmitting footage to a storage device concealed in a fire extinguisher. This level of surveillance and planning suggests that the thieves were willing to go to great lengths to gather intelligence on their target. But that wasn't the only way the thieves prepared for the heist. Nodar Bartolo also conducted detailed surveillance of the Diamond Center, studying the guards' routines and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And when that moment arrived, the thieves were ready, using a combination of high-tech gadgets and low-tech cunning to bypass the vault's security systems. They used a custom-made, hand-cranked device to break open 109 of the 189 safe deposit boxes, each equipped with both a unique key lock and a 3-letter combination lock. The fact that they were able to open so many boxes in such a short amount of time is a testament to their skill and preparation. As we delve deeper into the world of diamonds and deception, it's clear that the Antwerp diamond heist was more than just a clever robbery. It was a symptom of a larger problem. The diamond trade is a complex and often opaque industry with a history of secrecy and corruption. And at the heart of this industry is the Antwerp Diamond District, a square mile of streets and alleys that is home to thousands of diamond traders, cutters, and polishers. This is a place where billions of dollars worth of diamonds are bought and sold every year, and where the boundaries between legitimate business and illicit activity can become blurred. The Antwerp Diamond District has a long and storied history, dating back to the 15th century when the city was a major center for diamond cutting and polishing. Over the centuries, the district has been shaped by the influx of different cultures and communities, including Jewish, Jain Indian, Lebanese Maronite Christian, and Armenian dealers. Today, the district is a vibrant and bustling hub of activity, with thousands of people working in the diamond trade. But despite its reputation as a center of luxury and sophistication, the Diamond District is also a place of intense competition and ruthless business practices. As we explore the world of diamonds and deception, we begin to uncover a trail of clues that suggests the Antwerp diamond heist was just the tip of the iceberg. There are rumors of corruption and collusion, of insiders who may have helped the thieves to plan and execute the heist. And there are questions about the true value of the stolen diamonds and what happened to them after they were stolen. The fact that most of the diamonds remain unrecovered to this day is a mystery that continues to intrigue and frustrate investigators. But that's not the most surprising part. What's even more astonishing is that the heist was just one of many high-profile robberies to have taken place in the Diamond District over the years. The Diamond District is a place where the lines between reality and fiction can become blurred, where the glamour and excitement of the diamond trade can mask a more sinister reality. It's a world where everybody loves diamonds, but not everyone is what they seem. The recent Italian television series, Everybody Loves Diamonds, offers a dramatized glimpse into this world, with its portrayal of the Antwerp diamond heist and the characters involved. But while the series may take creative liberties with the facts, it also highlights the enduring fascination with the diamond trade and the people who inhabit it. As we continue to explore the world of diamonds and deception, we'll encounter a cast of characters who are as fascinating as they are complex. From the charismatic thieves who pulled off the heist, to the detectives who are tasked with solving the case, to the diamond traders and cutters who are caught up in the aftermath, each one has a story to tell and a secret to hide. And at the heart of it all is the diamond itself, a symbol of luxury and desire that has captivated human imagination for centuries. But what lies behind the glittering facade of the diamond trade, and what secrets are hidden in the shadows of the Antwerp Diamond District? That's what we'll be exploring next, as we delve deeper into the world of diamonds and deception. The Antwerp Diamond District, a place where the world's most valuable and coveted stones are bought, sold, and traded. It's an area of just 1 square mile, but it's home to over 500 companies, 500 brokers, merchants, and diamond cutters, and a workforce of 30,000 people. The district is dominated by a diverse group of diamantaires, including Jewish, Jain Indians, Lebanese Maronite Christians, and Armenians, all of whom have played a significant role in shaping the industry. But what's fascinating is that despite its global influence, the district is still a relatively closed community, with many of its inner workings and traditions remaining shrouded in secrecy. As we delve deeper into the world of diamonds and deception, it becomes clear that the Antwerp diamond heist was more than just a clever robbery. It was a masterclass in exploitation and manipulation. The thieves, led by Leonardo Nodar Bartolo, spent over 2 years preparing for the heist, meticulously planning and executing every detail. They rented an office in the Antwerp Diamond Center building, which provided them with access to a safe deposit box in the vault beneath the building. But that wasn't the only way they gained access to the vault. They also installed a small camera above the vault door to monitor the guards and record the vault's combination. The level of sophistication and planning that went into the heist is staggering. The thieves used a combination of high-tech gadgets and old-fashioned cunning to bypass the vault's advanced security systems. They sprayed hairspray on the thermal motion sensor to temporarily disable it, and used a custom-made aluminum plate to maintain the magnetic field when opening the vault door. But what's even more remarkable is that they managed to do all of this without triggering any of the alarms or alerting the guards. It's a testament to the skill and precision of the thieves, and raises questions about the security measures in place at the time. As the investigation into the heist unfolded, it became clear that the thieves had left a trail of clues and misdirection. They used a long, two-part, three-dimensional key to open the vault door, and a crowbar to pry open the day gate. But what's interesting is that they also used a polystyrene shield to block the infrared sensor and covered the ceiling light sensor with tape. It's a level of attention to detail that's impressive, but also raises questions about how they managed to acquire such specialized equipment. The Antwerp Diamond District is a place where secrets and lies are commonplace, and where the lines between truth and fiction are often blurred. The district's history is steeped in tradition and intrigue, with stories of diamond traders and merchants who have made their fortunes through a combination of skill, luck, and cunning. But beneath the surface of this glittering facade, there are whispers of corruption, deceit, and exploitation. It's a world where the pursuit of wealth and power can lead individuals to push the boundaries of the law, and where the consequences of getting caught can be severe. As we explore the world of diamonds and deception, we begin to uncover a complex web of relationships and alliances that underpin the industry. The diamantaires who dominate the district are a tight-knit community, bound together by ties of family, faith, and tradition. But they are also fiercely competitive, and will stop at nothing to protect their interests and maintain their grip on the market. It's a world where loyalty and betrayal are two sides of the same coin, and where the stakes are always high. The Antwerp diamond heist may have been the largest and most audacious robbery in history, but it's also a symptom of a larger problem. The diamond trade is an industry that's built on secrecy and deception, where the value of a stone is often determined by its provenance and authenticity, rather than its inherent value. It's a world where forgery and deception are commonplace, and where the unwary can easily be duped. But what's even more disturbing is that the heist may have been just the tip of the iceberg, a small part of a much larger and more complex web of corruption and deceit that threatens to undermine the very foundations of the industry. As we continue to investigate the Antwerp diamond heist, we begin to uncover a trail of clues and misdirection that leads us deeper into the heart of the diamond district. We meet a cast of characters who are all connected to the heist, each with their own secrets and motivations. There's Leonardo Notarbartolo, the mastermind behind the heist, who has a reputation for being one of the most skilled and elusive thieves in the business. And then there's the mysterious figure of John Lovegrove, a diamond trader with ties to the highest levels of the industry, who may have played a role in the heist. But as we delve deeper into the story, we begin to realize that nothing is as it seems, and that the truth behind the Antwerp diamond heist is far more complex and nuanced than we ever could have imagined. The investigation into the heist is a complex and fascinating story, full of twists and turns that keep us guessing until the very end. The police are baffled by the sophistication and precision of the thieves, and are forced to think outside the box to catch them. But as they dig deeper, they begin to uncover a web of corruption and deceit that goes all the way to the top of the diamond trade. It's a story that's full of surprises and raises questions about the nature of truth and deception in the diamond industry. But what's even more intriguing is that the story of the Antwerp diamond heist is not just a fascinating footnote in the history of the diamond trade. It's also a cautionary tale about the dangers of greed, ambition, and the pursuit of wealth and power. As we explore the world of diamonds and deception, we begin to realize that the Antwerp diamond heist is just one part of a much larger story. It's a story that's full of intrigue and suspense, with characters who are complex and multifaceted. The diamond trade is an industry that's built on secrets and lies, where the value of a stone is often determined by its provenance and authenticity, rather than its inherent value. But what's even more fascinating is that the industry is also built on tradition and history, with stories of diamond traders and merchants who have made their fortunes through a combination of skill, luck, and cunning. It's a world that's full of contradictions, where the pursuit of wealth and power can lead individuals to push the boundaries of the law, and where the consequences of getting caught can be severe. The Antwerp Diamond District is a place of wonder and fascination, where the world's most valuable and coveted stones are bought, sold, and traded. But it's also a place of darkness and deception, where the lines between truth and fiction are often blurred. As we delve deeper into the world of diamonds and deception, we begin to uncover a complex web of relationships and alliances that underpin the industry. It's a world where loyalty and betrayal are two sides of the same coin, and where the stakes are always high. But what's even more intriguing is that the story of the Antwerp diamond heist is not just a fascinating footnote in the history of the diamond trade. It's also a cautionary tale about the dangers of greed, ambition, and the pursuit of wealth and power. The level of sophistication and planning that went into the Antwerp diamond heist is a testament to the cunning and resourcefulness of the thieves. It's estimated that Leonardo Notarbartolo and his crew spent over 2 years preparing for the heist, meticulously gathering intelligence on the vault's security systems and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. But what's even more remarkable is the way they used everyday objects to disable the vault's advanced security mechanisms. For instance, Notarbartolo allegedly used hairspray to temporarily disable the thermal motion sensor and a polystyrene shield to block the infrared sensor. These tactics may seem simple, but they were incredibly effective, allowing the thieves to gain access to the vault without triggering the alarms. As the thieves made their way into the vault, they encountered another challenge: the safe deposit boxes. Each box was equipped with a unique key lock and a 3-letter combination lock, making it a daunting task to open them. But the thieves were prepared, using a custom-made, hand-cranked device to break open 109 of the 189 boxes. It's a staggering number, and one that raises questions about the security measures in place at the Antwerp Diamond Center. How could such a large number of boxes be opened without triggering any alarms? And what does this say about the overall security of the Diamond District? The Antwerp Diamond District, also known as the Diamond Quarter, is a fascinating place with a rich history dating back to the 15th century. The district is home to over 500 companies, 500 brokers, merchants, and diamond cutters, and is responsible for trading over 80% of the world's rough diamonds. It's a place where millions of dollars worth of diamonds change hands every day and where the stakes are always high. But despite its reputation as a hub of luxury and wealth, the Diamond District is also a place of incredible security, with many of the buildings and offices protected by advanced security systems. However, as the Antwerp diamond heist showed, even the most advanced security systems can be breached with enough planning and determination. The thieves' ability to infiltrate the vault and make off with over $100 million worth of diamonds, gold, and other jewels is a sobering reminder of the risks and vulnerabilities that exist in the diamond trade. And it raises important questions about the measures that are in place to prevent such crimes from happening in the future. For instance, how can the security systems in the Diamond District be improved to prevent similar heists from occurring? And what role can law enforcement play in preventing and investigating these types of crimes? But that wasn't the strangest part. The aftermath of the heist was marked by a series of bizarre and intriguing events. Notarbartolo and his crew were eventually caught and brought to justice, but many of the diamonds they stole were never recovered. It's estimated that only a small fraction of the stolen diamonds were ever found, leaving many to wonder what happened to the rest. Some speculate that the diamonds were sold on the black market, while others believe that they may still be hidden away, waiting to be discovered. As the investigation into the heist continued, detectives began to uncover a complex web of clues and contradictions. It became clear that the heist was not just a simple crime of opportunity, but a carefully planned and executed operation that involved multiple individuals and organizations. The police were faced with a daunting task: to piece together the evidence and track down the perpetrators. But as they delved deeper into the case, they began to realize that nothing was as it seemed. The heist was just the tip of the iceberg, and there were many more secrets and surprises waiting to be uncovered. The midpoint of the investigation marked a turning point in the case. It was then that detectives discovered a crucial piece of evidence that would change the course of the investigation forever. A small camera, hidden above the vault door, had been used to record the combination and transmit it to a storage device concealed in a fire extinguisher. This was the breakthrough that the police had been waiting for, and it would ultimately lead them to the masterminds behind the heist. But even as the investigation was ongoing, it was clear that the Antwerp diamond heist was more than just a crime story. It was a reflection of the darker side of human nature, and the lengths to which people will go in pursuit of wealth and power. The story of the Antwerp diamond heist is a complex and fascinating one, full of twists and turns that continue to captivate audiences to this day. It's a story that has been told and retold in various forms of media, including the Italian television series Everybody Loves Diamonds, which premiered on Amazon Prime Video in 2023. The series, directed by Gianluca Maria Tavarelli, stars Kim Rossi Stewart as Leonardo Notarbartolo and offers a dramatized account of the heist and its aftermath. But while the series may take some creative liberties with the facts, it's clear that the real story of the Antwerp diamond heist is just as compelling, if not more so. As we continue to explore the story of the Antwerp diamond heist, it's clear that there are still many unanswered questions. What happened to the stolen diamonds? Who was involved in the heist? And how did they manage to pull it off? And what does the heist say about the state of the diamond trade and the measures that are in place to prevent such crimes from happening in the future? These are just a few of the questions that remain. And as we delve deeper into the story, it's clear that the truth is far more complex and intriguing than we ever could have imagined. The level of sophistication and planning that went into the Antwerp diamond heist is a testament to the cunning and determination of the thieves. Leonardo Notarbartolo, the mastermind behind the heist, spent over 2 years preparing for the robbery, meticulously gathering intelligence on the Diamond Center's security systems and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. But what's even more astonishing is the fact that Notarbartolo was able to rent an office in the building, providing him with access to a safe deposit box in the vault beneath the building. This raises questions about the vetting process for tenants in the Diamond Center and how someone with Notarbartolo's intentions was able to slip through the cracks. As we delve deeper into the story, it becomes clear that the thieves employed a series of complex techniques to circumvent the security systems. They installed a small camera above the vault door to monitor the guards and record the vault's combination, transmitting footage to a storage device concealed in a fire extinguisher. But that wasn't the most brazen part of their plan. At some point, probably before the robbery, Notarbartolo visited the vault under the guise of a routine trip and sprayed hairspray on the thermal motion sensor to temporarily disable it. This level of audacity is a testament to the thieves' confidence in their plan and their ability to think on their feet. The vault's magnetic lock, which relied on a magnetic field between 2 plates to trigger an alarm if broken, was bypassed by carefully removing the bottom portion of the screws securing the plates, while the magnetic field was inactive earlier that week. The thieves then used adhesive tape to keep the plates in place, and during the heist, they used a custom aluminum plate to keep the plates together, maintaining the magnetic field when opening the vault door. This level of sophistication is staggering, and it's clear that the thieves had a deep understanding of the security systems they were attempting to bypass. But what's even more intriguing is the fact that the thieves used a long 2-part, 3-dimensional key to open the vault door along with its combination. They turned off the lights, then opened the vault door, and next, they used a crowbar to pry open the day gate. To avoid detection by the infrared sensor in the vault, a thief used a polystyrene shield to block his thermal signature and secured the shield in front of the sensor. The group also covered the ceiling light sensor with tape and then turned on the lights inside the vault to work undetected. This level of planning and execution is a testament to the thieves' skill and cunning. Once inside, the thieves used a custom-made, hand-cranked device to break open 109 of the 189 safe deposit boxes, each equipped with both a unique key lock and a 3-letter combination lock. The fact that they were able to open so many boxes in such a short amount of time is a testament to their skill and efficiency. But what's even more astonishing is the fact that the thieves were able to escape with an estimated $100 million worth of diamonds, gold, and other precious gems. The question on everyone's mind is, how did they manage to pull off such a brazen heist? And what happened to the stolen goods? The Antwerp Diamond District, where the heist took place, is a fascinating and complex place. It's an area of just 1 square mile, but it's home to over 500 companies, 500 brokers, merchants, and diamond cutters, and a workforce of 30,000 people. The district is dominated by Jewish, Jain Indian, Lebanese Maronite Christian, and Armenian dealers, known as diamantaires. The industry has a long and storied history, dating back to the 15th century, and it's been transformed over the years by advances in technology and changes in the global market. In recent years, the district has faced challenges, including a decline in the number of diamonds being polished and cut in Antwerp. Many of the polishing and cutting businesses have moved to countries with lower labor costs, such as India. However, the district remains a major hub for the diamond trade, with over 80% of the world's rough diamonds passing through it. The fact that the thieves were able to target the Diamond Center, which is located in the heart of the district, is a testament to their knowledge of the industry and their ability to exploit its weaknesses. The story of the Antwerp diamond heist has captivated people around the world, and it's been the subject of numerous books, articles, and documentaries. Recently, it was even adapted into an Italian television series, Everybody Loves Diamonds, which premiered on Amazon Prime Video in October 2023. The series stars Kim Rossi Stewart as Leonardo Notarbartolo, and it offers a dramatized account of the heist and its aftermath. But while the series may take some creative liberties with the story, it's clear that the real-life events were even more dramatic and complex. As we continue to explore the story of the Antwerp diamond heist, it's clear that there are still many unanswered questions. What happened to the stolen goods, and were the thieves able to sell them on the black market? How did the authorities eventually catch up with Notarbartolo and his accomplices, and what were the consequences for those involved? The story of the Antwerp diamond heist is a complex and fascinating one, full of twists and turns, and it's a testament to the enduring power of human ingenuity and determination. But that wasn't the strangest part. The investigation that followed the heist would uncover a web of secrets and lies, and it would take the authorities on a wild goose chase across Europe and beyond. As the investigation into the Antwerp diamond heist continued, authorities were faced with a daunting task tracking down the stolen diamonds and uncovering the identities of the thieves. The fact that the heist was carried out with such precision and sophistication made it clear that the perpetrators had inside knowledge of the Diamond Center's security systems. But how did they manage to gather such information? It's believed that Leonardo Notarbartolo, the mastermind behind the heist, had been gathering intelligence on the Diamond Center for over 2 years, posing as a legitimate businessman and renting an office in the building. Notarbartolo's plan was meticulous, and he left no stone unturned. He even went so far as to install a small camera above the vault door to monitor the guards and record the vault's combination. But what's even more astonishing is that he allegedly used a fire extinguisher to conceal a storage device that transmitted the footage. This level of planning and execution raises questions about the level of expertise and resources available to the thieves. Were they professional criminals, or was this a one-time operation? The fact that they were able to bypass the vault's advanced security systems, including the magnetic lock and Doppler radar, suggests a high degree of sophistication. As the authorities delved deeper into the case, they began to uncover a web of secrets and lies that led them on a wild goose chase across Europe. The thieves had covered their tracks well, but the police were determined to follow the trail of clues, no matter how small. They discovered that the thieves had used a custom-made aluminum plate to maintain the magnetic field when opening the vault door, and a polystyrene shield to block the infrared sensor. These details suggest a level of planning and preparation that's almost unprecedented in the history of diamond heists. But what's even more intriguing is the fact that the thieves seem to have an intimate knowledge of the Diamond Center's layout and security systems. The Antwerp Diamond District, where the heist took place, is a unique and fascinating world. It's a place where millions of dollars worth of diamonds are bought and sold every day, and where the diamond trade has been a way of life for centuries. The district is home to over 500 companies, 500 brokers, merchants, and diamond cutters, and is dominated by Jewish, Jain Indian, Lebanese Maronite Christian, and Armenian dealers. But despite its reputation for being a secure and tightly knit community, the district has been vulnerable to thefts and scams in the past. The 2003 heist was just one of several high-profile robberies to have taken place in the district, and it raised questions about the effectiveness of the district's security measures. As the investigation continued, the authorities began to focus on the possibility that the thieves had inside help. The fact that the heist was carried out with such precision and sophistication suggested that the perpetrators had access to information that only a select few would have. But who could have provided this information, and what was their motive? The police were faced with a complex and challenging puzzle, and it would take all their skills and resources to uncover the truth. The Antwerp diamond heist was a crime that would go down in history as one of the most daring and audacious of all time, and it would take years to unravel the mystery behind it. The case was so intriguing that it even caught the attention of the entertainment industry. In 2023, an Italian television series called Everybody Loves Diamonds premiered on Amazon Prime Video based on the Antwerp diamond heist. The series starred Kim Rossi Stewart as Leonardo Notarbartolo and explored the events leading up to the heist and its aftermath. While the series was fictionalized, it was based on real events and raised questions about the nature of crime and punishment. But what's even more interesting is the fact that the series was able to shed light on the inner workings of the diamond trade and the secrets that lie beneath its glittering surface. As the years went by, the Antwerp diamond heist became a legendary tale of crime and deception. The fact that most of the stolen diamonds remain unrecovered to this day is a testament to the cunning and sophistication of the thieves. But the case also raises questions about the effectiveness of law enforcement and the diamond trade's ability to regulate itself. The Antwerp Diamond District is a place of immense wealth and power, but it's also a place of secrets and lies. And it's clear that the 2003 heist was just the tip of the iceberg, a symptom of a larger problem that threatens the very foundations of the diamond trade. The investigation into the Antwerp diamond heist may have been closed, but the case remains a fascinating and complex puzzle. The fact that the thieves were able to carry out such a daring heist and get away with it raises questions about the nature of crime and punishment. And it's clear that the Antwerp Diamond District will always be a place of intrigue and mystery, where the lines between right and wrong are blurred, and the pursuit of wealth and power is a never-ending game. But what's even more intriguing is the fact that the district is still vulnerable to thefts and scams, and that the 2003 heist may have been just one of many similar crimes that have taken place over the years. As we delve deeper into the world of diamonds and crime, it becomes clear that the Antwerp diamond heist is just one part of a much larger story. The story of the diamond trade is a complex and fascinating one, full of twists and turns, and it's a testament to the enduring power of human ingenuity and determination. But what's even more astonishing is the fact that the diamond trade is still a thriving industry, with millions of dollars worth of diamonds being bought and sold every day. And it's clear that the Antwerp Diamond District will always be at the heart of this industry, a place of wonder and intrigue, where the pursuit of wealth and power is a never-ending game. The Antwerp Diamond District is a place of immense beauty and wonder, where the sparkle of diamonds and the thrill of the deal are a constant presence. But it's also a place of darkness and deceit, where the pursuit of wealth and power can lead to crime and corruption. And it's clear that the 2003 heist was just one part of a much larger story, a story that's still unfolding to this day. The district is a place of secrets and lies, where the lines between right and wrong are blurred, and the pursuit of wealth and power is a never-ending game. And it's clear that the Antwerp diamond heist will always be a part of this story, a reminder of the power and sophistication of the diamond trade and the enduring allure of the diamond itself. When dawn broke over Antwerp on Monday morning, the true magnitude of what had transpired inside the vault 2 floors beneath the Antwerp Diamond Center began to send shockwaves through the global trade. Inside the heavily fortified square mile, where tens of billions of dollars in gems passed through every year and 84% of the world's rough diamonds were handled, the impossible had happened. Deep. As the news of the heist spread, the Antwerp Diamond Center, a hub that had always been synonymous with security and discretion, was thrown into chaos. The vault, which was thought to be impenetrable, had been breached with ease, leaving the diamond community stunned and wondering how such a feat was possible. The thieves had seemingly vanished into thin air, leaving behind only a few cryptic clues and a trail of confusion. But that wasn't the strangest part. The fact that the vault's state-of-the-art security system, which included motion detectors, video cameras, and a network of seismic sensors, had failed to detect the intruders raised more questions than answers. The investigation that followed was one of the most extensive in Belgian history, with a team of detectives and forensic experts working around the clock to piece together the events of that fateful weekend. They began by reviewing the security footage, which showed the thieves entering the building through a service door that was supposed to be locked and alarmed. But the footage also revealed a surprising level of sophistication, as the thieves seemed to know exactly where to go and what to do, almost as if they had inside help. This revelation sparked a flurry of rumors and speculation, with some pointing to a possible mole within the Antwerp Diamond Center. But as the detectives dug deeper, they discovered that the truth was far more complex. One of the first leads the investigators pursued was a suspicious character who had been seen lurking around the Antwerp Diamond Center in the days leading up to the heist. The man, who was later identified as an Italian national with a history of petty crime, had been caught on camera attempting to sell a small quantity of diamonds to a local dealer. But when the detectives brought him in for questioning, he claimed to have had nothing to do with the heist, and his alibi checked out. This seemingly dead-end lead, however, would later prove to be a crucial piece of the puzzle. The detectives discovered that the man had been in contact with a group of professional thieves, known for their expertise in safe-cracking and high-stakes heists. But what was even more intriguing was that this group had been linked to a string of similar robberies across Europe, all of which had one thing in common: the thieves had always seemed to know exactly what they were looking for. As the investigation continued, the detectives began to uncover a web of connections and relationships that spanned the globe. They discovered that the Antwerp Diamond Center was not just a hub for diamond trading, but also a nexus for a complex network of buyers, sellers, and middlemen. The thieves, it seemed, had exploited this network to gather intelligence and plan their heist. But the question remained: how had they managed to evade detection and pull off the impossible? The answer, it turned out, lay in a surprising combination of old-fashioned cunning and cutting-edge technology. The thieves had used a technique known as social engineering to gain the trust of the Antwerp Diamond Center's security team, creating a false sense of security that allowed them to breach the vault undetected. But that wasn't the only twist in the tale. The more the detectives learned about the heist, the more they realized that nothing was as it seemed. The thieves, for example, had not just stolen diamonds, but also a large quantity of other precious gems, including rubies and emeralds. This raised the possibility that the heist was not just about stealing valuable commodities, but also about disrupting the global diamond trade. The Antwerp Diamond Center was not just a business, but also a symbol of the city's rich history and cultural heritage. The heist, therefore, was not just a crime, but also an attack on the city's reputation and prestige. But as the investigation continued, it became clear that the true extent of the damage was still unknown. The thieves had stolen not just diamonds, but also sensitive information about the diamond trade, including names of buyers and sellers and details of upcoming transactions. This raised the stakes to a whole new level, as the detectives realized that the heist was not just a one-time event, but a potentially devastating blow to the entire diamond industry. The detectives were now faced with a daunting task: to track down the thieves and recover the stolen diamonds, while also preventing a potential collapse of the global diamond market. They worked around the clock, following leads and gathering intelligence, but every step forward seemed to reveal a new layer of complexity. The thieves, it seemed, had planned the heist with meticulous care, leaving behind a trail of false clues and misdirection. But the detectives were determined to stay one step ahead, using every tool at their disposal to unravel the mystery. They scoured the city for surveillance footage, interviewed witnesses, and analyzed every shred of evidence. And then, just when it seemed like the case was going cold, they received a cryptic message from the thieves, taunting them and claiming responsibility for the heist. But that wasn't the only surprise in store for the detectives. The message, which was sent via email, included a series of cryptic clues and riddles, challenging the detectives to catch them. The thieves, it seemed, were not just common criminals, but also masterminds with a flair for the dramatic. They had planned the heist as a kind of performance, leaving behind a trail of clues and puzzles for the detectives to solve. But as the detectives delved deeper into the message, they realized that it was more than just a game. The thieves were trying to convey a message, to send a signal to the diamond industry and the world at large. The heist, it seemed, was not just a crime, but also a statement, a declaration of war against the established order. But what did it all mean, and who was behind the mysterious message? The detectives were about to uncover a surprising truth, one that would take them to the very heart of the diamond industry and reveal a web of secrets and lies that went far beyond a simple heist. As the investigation continued, the detectives discovered that the thieves had been planning the heist for years, gathering intelligence and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. They had infiltrated the Antwerp Diamond Center, gaining the trust of key employees and gathering sensitive information about the vault and its security systems. The thieves had also created a network of fake identities and shell companies, allowing them to move undetected and launder the stolen diamonds. But the most shocking revelation was yet to come. The detectives discovered that the heist was not just the work of a group of professional thieves, but also involved corrupt officials and insiders within the diamond industry. The thieves had been aided by a mole within the Antwerp Diamond Center, who had provided them with crucial information and assistance. This mole, it turned out, was a high-ranking official with access to the vault and its security systems. The revelation sent shockwaves through the diamond industry, as the detectives realized that the heist was not just a one-time event, but a symptom of a deeper problem. The industry, it seemed, was ripe for corruption and exploitation, with many players willing to do whatever it took to get ahead. The detectives were now faced with a daunting task: to clean up the industry and bring the corrupt officials to justice. But as they delved deeper into the case, they realized that the truth was far more complex and nuanced. The diamond industry was a complex web of relationships and interests, with many players operating in the gray areas between right and wrong. The heist, it seemed, was just the tip of the iceberg, a symptom of a deeper disease that threatened to destroy the very fabric of the industry. But the detectives were determined to get to the bottom of it, to follow the trail of clues and uncover the truth, no matter how complex or difficult it might be. The investigation was now entering its most critical phase, as the detectives worked to unravel the web of relationships and interests that had led to the heist. They were following a trail of clues that led from the streets of Antwerp to the diamond mines of Africa, and from the luxury boutiques of Paris to the backstreets of Mumbai. The case was becoming a global phenomenon, with detectives and investigators from around the world working together to track down the thieves and recover the stolen diamonds. But as the stakes grew higher, the detectives realized that they were in a race against time. The thieves were still on the loose, and the diamonds were being sold and resold, disappearing into the depths of the global diamond market. The detectives knew that they had to act fast, to follow the trail of clues and track down the thieves before it was too late. But as they worked tirelessly to solve the case, they couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched, that the thieves were still one step ahead, waiting for their next move. The tension was palpable as the detectives worked around the clock to crack the case. They were following a trail of clues that led from the diamond mines of Africa to the luxury boutiques of Europe, and from the streets of Antwerp to the backstreets of Asia. The case was becoming a global phenomenon, with detectives and investigators from around the world working together to track down the thieves and recover the stolen diamonds. But as the stakes grew higher, the detectives realized that they were in a complex game of cat and mouse, with the thieves always seeming to be one step ahead. The detectives were now faced with a daunting task: to outsmart the thieves and recover the stolen diamonds, while also navigating the complex web of relationships and interests that had led to the heist. But as they worked tirelessly to solve the case, they couldn't shake the feeling that they were missing something, that there was a piece of the puzzle that they had yet to discover. As the investigation continued, the detectives began to uncover a surprising pattern. The thieves, it seemed, had been targeting not just the Antwerp Diamond Center, but also other diamond trading hubs around the world. They had stolen diamonds from dealers in Mumbai, gemstones from traders in Bangkok, and precious metals from refineries in Johannesburg. The detectives realized that the heist was not just a one-time event, but a coordinated attack on the global diamond industry. The thieves, it seemed, had a sophisticated network of operatives and informants, allowing them to gather intelligence and plan their heists with precision. But the most surprising revelation was yet to come. The detectives discovered that the thieves were not just common criminals, but also had links to organized crime syndicates and terrorist groups. The heist, it seemed, was not just a crime, but also a way to finance illicit activities and launder money. The revelation sent shockwaves through the diamond industry, as the detectives realized that the heist was not just a symptom of a deeper problem, but also a threat to global security. The thieves, it seemed, had exploited the diamond industry's lax regulations and lack of oversight to finance their illicit activities. The detectives were now faced with a daunting task: to track down the thieves and recover the stolen diamonds, while also preventing the diamond industry from being used to finance terrorism and organized crime. But as they worked tirelessly to solve the case, they couldn't shake the feeling that they were in a race against time. The thieves were still on the loose, and the diamonds were being sold and resold, disappearing into the depths of the global diamond market. The detectives knew that they had to act fast, to follow the trail of clues and track down the thieves before it was too late. But as they worked to solve the case, they couldn't help but wonder: what other secrets was the diamond industry hiding, and how far did the trail of corruption and deceit go? As the investigation unfolded, detectives began to scrutinize the security measures in place at the Antwerp Diamond Center, only to discover a web of vulnerabilities that seemed almost intentional. The building's alarm system, for instance, was not directly connected to the police station, but rather to a private security firm which had failed to respond promptly to the breach. This raised questions about the effectiveness of the security protocols and whether they had been deliberately compromised. But that wasn't the most alarming aspect. The thieves had also managed to disable the CCTV cameras, suggesting an intimate knowledge of the center's layout and security infrastructure. Further inquiry revealed that the diamond industry's obsession with secrecy and discretion had created an environment where security was often an afterthought. Many of the diamond traders and dealers within the Antwerp Diamond Center had opted for private security arrangements, which were not subject to the same level of oversight as the public security systems. This had created a patchwork of security measures, with some areas of the center being more vulnerable than others. As detectives dug deeper, they found that several traders had reported suspicious activity in the days leading up to the heist, but these warnings had been largely ignored. The lack of communication and coordination between the different security entities had allowed the thieves to exploit these weaknesses, and it was becoming increasingly clear that this was no ordinary burglary. The more the detectives learned about the heist, the more they realized that the thieves had been planning this operation for months, if not years. The level of sophistication and precision involved in the heist was unprecedented, and it was evident that the perpetrators had a deep understanding of the diamond industry's inner workings. But what was even more intriguing was the fact that the thieves had targeted specific vaults and safes, suggesting that they had inside information about the contents of these storage units. This raised the question of whether there was a mole within the Antwerp Diamond Center, or if the thieves had managed to gather intelligence through other means. The investigation was now venturing into the realm of industrial espionage, and the stakes were escalating by the minute. As the detectives continued to follow the trail of clues, they stumbled upon a surprising contradiction. While the heist had been carried out with military precision, the thieves had left behind a few tantalizing clues, including a suspicious phone call made from a nearby payphone. The call had been made to a number registered in Italy, which seemed to suggest that the thieves might have had international connections. However, when the detectives tried to investigate further, they found that the phone number was no longer in service, and the Italian authorities seemed reluctant to cooperate. This sudden lack of transparency from the Italian side only added to the mystery, and the detectives couldn't help but wonder if they were dealing with a much larger, more complex organization than they had initially thought. The Antwerp Diamond Center's administration, meanwhile, was facing intense scrutiny from the media and the public. The heist had exposed the vulnerabilities of the diamond industry, and many were questioning the lack of oversight and regulation. As the detectives pressed on with their investigation, they discovered that several diamond traders had been involved in shady dealings, including money laundering and tax evasion. The diamond industry's reputation was taking a hit, and the Antwerp Diamond Center's management was under pressure to restore confidence. But as the detectives dug deeper, they found that the corruption went far beyond a few rogue traders. It seemed to be an inherent part of the industry's culture. The more they learned, the more they realized that the Antwerp diamond heist was just the tip of the iceberg, and that the real story was much more complex and far-reaching. One of the most significant challenges faced by the detectives was the sheer scale of the diamond industry. With thousands of traders, dealers, and cutters operating within the Antwerp Diamond Center, it was like looking for a needle in a haystack. The industry's opacity and lack of transparency only added to the difficulty, as many traders were reluctant to cooperate with the investigation. But the detectives persisted, following every lead, no matter how small. And then, they stumbled upon a curious anomaly. Several of the stolen diamonds had been cut and polished in a specific factory, which seemed to be linked to a prominent diamond trader. The trader in question had a spotless reputation, but the detectives couldn't shake off the feeling that something wasn't quite right. As they dug deeper, they found that the trader had been involved in some dubious dealings in the past, and the question on everyone's mind was, had they finally caught a break in the case? The investigation was now entering its most critical phase, with the detectives working around the clock to piece together the evidence. They had identified several suspects, but the case was still far from being solved. The Antwerp diamond heist had sparked a global manhunt, with law enforcement agencies from around the world joining the search for the stolen diamonds. The detectives were racing against time, as the longer it took to recover the stolen diamonds, the more likely they were to be lost forever. The pressure was mounting, and the stakes were higher than ever. But the detectives remained focused, driven by their determination to solve the case and bring the perpetrators to justice. As they worked to unravel the complex web of clues, they couldn't help but wonder what other secrets the diamond industry was hiding and how far the trail of corruption and deceit would lead them. The diamond industry's lack of transparency was making it difficult for the detectives to track the movement of the stolen diamonds. The industry's reliance on cash transactions and lack of regulation made it a haven for money launderers and other illicit activities. The detectives were finding it challenging to distinguish between legitimate and illegitimate transactions, as the industry's opaque nature made it easy for criminals to hide their tracks. But the detectives were making progress, slowly but surely. They had identified a pattern of suspicious transactions, which seemed to be linked to a specific network of traders. The question was, would they be able to follow the money trail and uncover the truth behind the Antwerp diamond heist? As the investigation continued, the detectives began to unravel a complex web of relationships between diamond traders, dealers, and cutters. It appeared that several traders had been working together, sharing information and resources to carry out the heist. The detectives were shocked to discover that some of these traders had been involved in previous diamond heists, and that they had been using their knowledge and expertise to plan and execute the Antwerp diamond heist. The scope of the investigation was expanding, and the detectives were now looking into the possibility of a larger, more organized crime syndicate. The Antwerp diamond heist was no longer just a burglary, it was a symptom of a much deeper problem, one that threatened the very foundations of the diamond industry. The detectives were getting closer to the truth, but the case was becoming increasingly complicated. They had discovered that several of the stolen diamonds had been sold on the black market, and that the buyers were likely unaware of the diamonds' illicit origin. The detectives were facing a daunting task. They had to track down the stolen diamonds, recover them, and bring the perpetrators to justice, all while navigating the complex and often murky world of the diamond industry. The Antwerp diamond heist had sparked a global crisis, and the detectives were at the forefront of the effort to resolve it. As they worked to solve the case, they couldn't help but wonder what other secrets the diamond industry was hiding, and how far the trail of corruption and deceit would lead them. The investigation was now entering its final stages, with the detectives closing in on the perpetrators. They had identified the mastermind behind the heist, a charismatic and cunning individual with a reputation for pulling off daring crimes. The detectives were working around the clock to gather evidence, following every lead, no matter how small. The stakes were higher than ever, as the detectives knew that they had to bring the perpetrators to justice and recover the stolen diamonds. The Antwerp diamond heist had shaken the diamond industry to its core, and the detectives were determined to restore confidence and transparency to the industry. As they worked to solve the case, they couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and satisfaction. They were on the verge of cracking one of the most complex and intriguing cases in history. But the question on everyone's mind was, would they be able to recover all of the stolen diamonds, and would justice be served? Only time would tell. The turn of events didn't come from high-tech surveillance or an informant's whisper, but from a patch of dirt off the E19 highway near the small Belgian town of Grobendonck. A retired local man named August Steiner was patrolling his property, frustrated by the persistent littering along the forest edge. What he stumbled upon was not typical roadside trash. Scattered among the brush were plastic bags stuffed with videotapes, torn documents, empty diamond envelopes stamped with the emblem of the Antwerp Diamond Center, and half-eaten food. Steiner called the authorities, who quickly realized the significance of the discovery, given the proximity to the recent Antwerp diamond heist. The police were baffled by the sheer amount of evidence discarded so carelessly, including documents detailing security protocols and internal communications from the Antwerp Diamond Center. This raised more questions than answers. If the thieves were sophisticated enough to pull off the biggest jewel heist in history, why would they be so reckless with their trash? But that wasn't the strangest part. Among the litter, investigators found a series of cryptic notes, seemingly written in code, which would later become a crucial piece of the puzzle in unraveling the identities and motives of the thieves. As the investigation deepened, it became clear that the Antwerp diamond heist was not just about stealing diamonds, but about the intricate web of security measures the thieves had to navigate. The Antwerp Diamond Center, located in a highly secured area of the city, is protected by a combination of alarms, motion detectors, and video cameras. Yet, the thieves seem to have an intimate knowledge of the center's layout and security systems, suggesting an inside job or, at the very least, a significant amount of reconnaissance. But how did they manage to bypass the state-of-the-art security without triggering any alarms? The discovery of the videotapes among the trash provided the first clue. They contained footage of the center's security cameras, but with a critical difference. The footage had been looped, creating a blind spot in the security feed. The looping of the security footage pointed to a high level of sophistication and planning, contradicting the initial impression of carelessness given by the discarded evidence. It indicated that the thieves not only had the technical expertise to manipulate the security systems, but also had access to the necessary equipment and knowledge to create the looped footage without detection. However, this revelation also raised the stakes. If the thieves were capable of such complex operations, what else might they have planned, and how far did their network extend? The investigation was now dealing with a potential web of insiders and outsiders, working together to pull off the impossible. Further analysis of the documents and videotapes revealed a surprising level of detail about the security measures of the Antwerp Diamond Center, including the timing of the guards' rounds and the locations of the safes. This information was not publicly available, suggesting that the thieves had either an insider within the center or had managed to gain access to highly sensitive information through other means. But what was even more intriguing was the mention of a specific vault, known as the Vault of the Diamantaires, which was believed to contain some of the most valuable diamonds in the collection. The thieves seem to have targeted this vault specifically, but why, and what made its contents so unique? The Vault of the Diamantaires was not just any vault. It was a secure storage facility used by some of the most prominent diamond traders in Antwerp. The diamonds stored there were not only valuable, but also highly significant in terms of their historical and cultural importance. The fact that the thieves targeted this vault indicated that they were not just after any diamonds, but after specific, high-value stones that could be easily fenced on the black market. However, this also meant that the heist was not just about the monetary value of the stolen goods, but also about the potential disruption to the global diamond market. The investigation was now looking into the possibility of an organized crime syndicate being involved, one that had the resources and the knowledge to pull off such a daring heist. As investigators delved deeper into the world of diamond trading, they encountered a complex network of dealers, cutters, and traders, many of whom operated in the gray areas of the law. The diamond industry, valued for its luxury and exclusivity, also had a darker side, one of corruption, smuggling, and forgery. The Antwerp diamond heist could be just the tip of the iceberg, a symptom of a much larger problem that threatened the integrity of the entire diamond market. But that wasn't the only concern. The more the investigators learned about the heist, the more they realized that the thieves might not have been after the diamonds alone. There were hints of a larger plan, one that could have far-reaching consequences for the global economy and international security. The discovery of the half-eaten food among the trash initially seemed like a minor detail, but it turned out to be a crucial piece of evidence. Forensic analysis revealed that the food was from a specific region, not commonly found in Belgium, which hinted at the international nature of the thieves. This, combined with the sophisticated planning and execution of the heist, pointed to a highly organized and possibly international criminal organization. The investigation was now collaborating with international law enforcement agencies, looking for any connections between the Antwerp diamond heist and other high-profile crimes around the world. But as the scope of the investigation expanded, so did the complexity of the case, with new leads and new suspects emerging every day. One of the most intriguing leads was a small, unassuming diamond cutting factory on the outskirts of Antwerp. The factory, owned by a man named Marco Medici, had been under surveillance for months due to suspicions of diamond smuggling. However, what made Medici's factory particularly interesting in the context of the heist was the rumor that he had been in financial trouble, deeply in debt to some of the more unsavory characters in the diamond world. Could Medici have been involved in the heist, either directly or indirectly, as a way to pay off his debts? The investigation was about to find out, as they prepared to raid the factory and question Medici about his possible involvement in the Antwerp diamond heist. The raid on Medici's factory uncovered a surprising amount of evidence, including diamond cutting tools, security blueprints of the Antwerp Diamond Center, and encrypted communications with unknown parties. It seemed that Medici was indeed involved, but the extent of his involvement and the identities of his accomplices were still unclear. The encrypted communications, in particular, hinted at a larger network, possibly international in scope, with Medici acting as a local facilitator or fence for the stolen diamonds. But as the investigators dug deeper, they found that nothing was as it seemed. Medici, it turned out, was not just a small-time diamond cutter, but a man with connections to some of the most powerful figures in the diamond industry. The connection between Medici and the higher echelons of the diamond industry raised more questions about the nature of the Antwerp diamond heist. Was this a simple case of theft, or was it a symptom of a much larger problem within the industry? The investigation was now looking into the possibility of corruption and complicity at the highest levels, with the heist being just one part of a larger scheme to manipulate the diamond market. But that wasn't the only twist. As investigators looked closer at Medici's connections, they found a web of interests that went beyond the diamond industry, into the world of international finance and politics. The deeper the investigation went, the more it became clear that the Antwerp diamond heist was not just about stealing diamonds, but about the power and influence that came with controlling such valuable commodities. The thieves, it seemed, were not just common criminals, but players in a much larger game, one that involved international crime syndicates, corrupt business practices, and possibly even geopolitical maneuvering. The case was no longer just about solving a crime, but about uncovering a complex web of interests and alliances that threatened the very foundations of the global economy. And at the heart of it all was the question: what happened to the diamonds, and who ultimately benefited from the Antwerp diamond heist? As the investigation continued to unravel the complexities of the heist, it became increasingly clear that the case would have far-reaching implications, not just for the diamond industry, but for international law enforcement and global security. The thieves, in pulling off the impossible, had not only stolen diamonds, but had also exposed the vulnerabilities of the system, revealing a world of corruption, deceit, and manipulation that went far beyond the streets of Antwerp. But the story of the Antwerp diamond heist was far from over. As new leads emerged and old ones were pursued, the investigators were about to discover that the truth behind the heist was more complex, more intriguing, and more dangerous than they had ever imagined. The pursuit of the truth led investigators down a rabbit hole of twists and turns, where nothing was as it seemed, and every new discovery raised more questions. From the streets of Antwerp to the diamond markets of the world, the investigation was a journey into the heart of a global industry, one that was built on luxury, exclusivity, and secrecy. But beneath the glittering surface of the diamond world, the investigators found a darker reality, one of crime, corruption, and violence. The Antwerp diamond heist was just the beginning, a window into a world that few had ever seen, and one that would challenge everything they thought they knew about the diamond industry and the people who controlled it. As the investigation delved deeper into this world, it encountered characters who were as fascinating as they were dangerous. From diamond traders with questionable pasts to international criminals with reputations for ruthlessness, the cast of characters in the Antwerp diamond heist was a complex and intriguing one. But at the center of it all was the mystery of the stolen diamonds and the question of who had pulled off the impossible. The answer, when it finally came, would shock the world, revealing a level of sophistication and cunning that few had ever seen before. The Antwerp diamond heist was more than just a crime. It was a testament to human ingenuity, a reminder that even in the most secure of places, there are always those who will seek to challenge the system and push the boundaries of what is thought possible. The final piece of the puzzle fell into place with the arrest of a man known only as the King of Diamonds, a figure who had been rumored to be involved in some of the most significant diamond heists of the past decade. His real name was Leonardo Notarbartolo, an Italian thief with a reputation for daring and intricate heists. Notarbartolo, it turned out, was the mastermind behind the Antwerp diamond heist, using his knowledge of the diamond industry and his network of contacts to pull off the impossible. But even as the case seemed to be closed, there were still questions about the extent of Notarbartolo's involvement and the identities of his accomplices. The investigation had uncovered a complex web of alliances and rivalries within the diamond industry, with the heist being just one part of a much larger game. The aftermath of the Antwerp diamond heist saw significant changes in the way the diamond industry operated, with increased security measures and a greater emphasis on transparency and accountability. The heist had exposed the vulnerabilities of the system, revealing a world of corruption and deceit that went to the very top. But it had also shown the resilience and determination of those who sought to uncover the truth, no matter how complex or difficult the journey might be. The story of the Antwerp diamond heist would go down in history as one of the most daring and intricate crimes of all time, a testament to human ingenuity and the enduring allure of diamonds. But it would also serve as a reminder of the darker side of the diamond industry, a world of crime, corruption, and violence that lay just beneath the surface of the glittering diamonds that captivated the world. In the end, the Antwerp diamond heist was more than just a crime. It was a window into a world that few had ever seen, a world of luxury, exclusivity, and secrecy. It was a reminder that even in the most secure of places, there are always those who will seek to challenge the system and push the boundaries of what is thought possible. And it was a testament to the power of human ingenuity, a demonstration of what can be achieved with determination, sophistication, and a willingness to take risks. The diamonds, in the end, were just a small part of the story, a symbol of the greed, ambition, and cunning that drove the thieves to pull off the impossible. But the real story was about the people, the characters who made up the complex and intriguing world of the diamond industry, and the investigation that sought to uncover the truth behind the Antwerp diamond heist. The investigation into the Antwerp diamond heist was a complex web of leads and dead ends, with detectives chasing down whispers of insider involvement and possible mafia connections. As they dug deeper, they discovered that the thieves had rented the vaults under false names, using fake identities and cleverly crafted backstories to gain the trust of the Diamond Center's management. But that wasn't the most surprising part. The thieves had also managed to disable the security cameras and alarms, suggesting a level of sophistication that went far beyond your average smash-and-grab. This raised more questions than answers, particularly about the role of the Diamond Center's own security team. Had they been complicit in the heist, or had they simply been outsmarted by the thieves? The detectives found themselves navigating a treacherous landscape of conflicting interests and alliances, where the lines between victim and perpetrator were increasingly blurred. As they interviewed key players in the diamond industry, they began to uncover a pattern of lax security measures and cozy relationships between diamond traders and the authorities. But what did this mean for the case, and where would it lead the investigation? The more the detectives learned, the more they realized that the Antwerp diamond heist was just the tip of the iceberg. There were rumors of similar heists in other cities, all bearing the same hallmark of sophistication and cunning. But were these connected, or were they simply copycat crimes? The detectives were determined to find out, But as they delved deeper into the world of high-stakes diamond trading, they couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched, that the thieves were always one step ahead. And then, just as they thought they were making progress, they received a cryptic tip that suggested the heist was more than just a theft, it was a warning, a message from a much larger and more complex world of organized crime. But what did it mean, and who was behind it?